Monica here, and today I'm going to teach you how to move to the beat even if you've never danced before in your life. For best social dancing tutorials and tips, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video every week. If we haven't met yet, my name is Monica and I help men and women get rhythm and other basic dance skills, get over their dance floor fears and become confident dancing in social settings. If you would like to become more comfortable dancing in front of other people, I am hosting a free masterclass where I'll be sharing my technique that I use on myself and on thousands of my clients. If you're interested in joining, stick around till the end of this video. I'm going to show you how to do it then. In my previous video, I showed you what you can listen for in a song. We were identifying the snare, we were doing simple movements to that beat. So if you're interested in doing a little bit more practicing, I'm going to put the link to that video in the description below. Today I will show you simple moves that I like to do to the snare, and I'm going to do both masculine and feminine versions, just so you have more options. To be able to do the movements correctly to the beat, we have to first identify what action is happening on that said beat. In our case, it will be the snare drum. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If we take a simple movement, for example, clapping, it consists of two actions, hands opening and hands closing, right? And I'm just repeating that. But only one of those actions can be on the snare. Only one of them can land on the snare. You cannot do both open and close when you're hearing the beat, right in that second. So we have to choose one action, and that action becomes our accent. In the case of clapping, since the snare sounds sort of like a clap, I'm going to choose the hands together. So hands touching is my accent on the snare, because we can't close and open the hands at the same time, right? And it works the same way for every movement. We just have to pick which part of that movement falls on the snare. And it doesn't matter if you're moving your hands, your feet, your hips, your torso, anything works like that. So let me show you. First step, I'm going to do a simple step out to the side. I will show you first the neutral or the masculine version, and then I'll show you what you can do to make it more feminine. So we're going to start with feet together, and in this movement we have two parts to it. We have feet close and then one foot going off to the side, and then it's repeated. But on the snare, again, we have to pick one of those actions, and I pick foot out. So every single time the foot is out, this is when you're going to hear the snare. Or rather, when you hear the snare, you're going to bring the foot out, because the music won't adjust to you. You have to adjust to the music. I'm bringing the foot out. I'm not transferring weight onto that foot, so don't do that. This would be a different step. You just touch the toes to the floor, and that's enough. To make this movement feel a little bit smoother and more feminine, we're going to keep the same rhythm, of course, but I want you to bend the knees, and then as you touch the toes to the floor, you're going to push the hip up. So you're going to switch, push and touch, switch, push and touch, and this will happen on the snare. Let's first find the beat. This is the snare drum we're going to be dancing on. And start with the step. Neutral version, no hips. Whatever you do, you're trying to catch that snare with your toes off to the side. Even if the beat is gone. Okay, then version of the hips, you can stay a little bit lower, get lower, and then give a little accent, a little push with the hip up. If our friends knew undercover love and they would try to solve it, For our next movement, let's say the dance floor is crowded, you don't have much space to move. We have to do something in place without even moving the feet. So I'm going to show you a little dip variation. Now again, the neutral version without the hips. We're going to start on one leg. The weight is shifted to the side, and all you're going to do is bend the knees as you shift the weight towards the other leg, and then come up, straightening both knees. And then we're going to repeat it. Down and up, down and up. Okay, so this is the setup. But now again, we have to pick an action. Either we're going down on the snare or we're coming up on the snare with the weight being shifted to the side. And I do want the second option to happen on the snare. So treat this as our deadline. By the time you hear the snare, you have to be up and you have to have your weight already shifted. For more feminine version, we're going to add the hips again. Setup is the same, rhythm is the same, but now as you come up out of the dip, you're going to push the hip out and then switch, go the other way. So the hip movement is leading that motion. It becomes a smooth, like a U shape that you're drawing with your hips. 1, 2, 1, 2, or we can say down and up on the snare, down and up. Let's do the manly version first. Bounce, up, down, up. Okay, then keep that beat. If you want to add the hips, let me show you my hips. Feminine version.
Please don't touch me like that. 'Cause you know I'll react.
Wait for the beat. It's back.
I feel so foolish. No, breaking rules and that's facts.
Which one do you like better? The one where we step out or the one where we just bounce or sway with the hips? Put 1 or 2 in the comments below. Let's do one more move. For this one, you're going to have the feet apart. Weight will be shifted to one side. The foot that's free, you're going to turn the heel in and then come back to center. Switch feet, other foot goes in, center. And this is the accent that's going to happen on the snare. So the heel going in is when you're going to hear the snare. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, more neutral version, or you can make it masculine if you want to. This is just a simple heel in motion. Keeping the arms bent again because you don't want to look like a zombie. So the arms can just move with the body a little bit. Keep them loose. If you feel like it, you can twist towards the heel with your torso, but you don't have to. If you just want to be focused on finding the beat in the song, keep it simple. We have time to add other stuff. And to make this movement look more feminine, we're going to this time add the chest. No more hips. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to isolate the chest forward. So I want you to do this little prep exercise a few times. And all I'm doing here, I'll show you from the side, I am pushing my chest out, not all the way, but just give it a little push so that it's visible. You can tell that it's expanding forward. We are going to search for the snare and we're going to wait for that clap sound to bring the heel in and to push the chest out. Let me see if I can clap with it so you know exactly where the action will happen. But you don't have to clap because it kind of messes up the smooth look of this movement. Okay, now once you have the feet, let's see if we can add the chest. See how different this movement will look now.
Please don't touch me like that. 'Cause you know I'll react. Don't make me do this. I feel so foolish. No.
If you would like to get rhythm and other dance skills, as well as become confident, comfortable dancing in social settings, I am hosting a free masterclass. There are still spots available, so if you'd like to join, you'll find a link to register in the description below this video. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now.